سنتحدث أكثر عن موضوع الرعاية الصحية. معنا في الاستوديو الرئيس التنفيذي لمستشفى كليفلاند كلينك في أبوظبي الدكتور جورج بسكال هيبر. مرحبا بك دكتور، شكرا لحضورك معنا اليوم. كثير مهم تكون معنا لنتحدث أكثر عن قطاع الرعاية الصحية، وخصوصا في ظل وجود هذه التحفة في أبوظبي كليفلاند كلينك. أهلا بك.
شكرا. أنا بحكي شوي عربي، بفهم الأسئلة، بس ليكون أجوبتي أكثر دقة رح رد بالإنجليزي.
ما في مشكلة، المترجمة معك. المهم أنه نستفيد من معلوماتك. الحقيقة أنا بيهمني بلش. نحن بشكل عام بالعالم العربي بالتحديد الخدمات الصحية البعض يعتبرها أنها دون المستوى. جاء مستشفى كليفلاند كلينك لأبوظبي ليضع ربما ستاندرد جديد في الرعاية الصحية. قديش مهم هذا المستشفى ليرفع مكانة الرعاية الصحية في المنطقة، وقديش ذلك أثر على اقتصاد أبوظبي؟
Thank you for your question. So in March we celebrated our 10-year anniversary for Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi. Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi's vision, as it was set by the leaders of this country, was to bring world-class care closer to home to patients in the UAE and in the whole region. And what we've seen after 10 years of care, not only were able to provide world-class care to the patients here and not having them travel abroad to get complex care, but also we started seeing patients traveling from around the region and across the globe to Abu Dhabi to get their complex care. Last year, for example, in 2024, we saw 10,000 patients that traveled to Abu Dhabi to get their complex care. And the type of care we're providing is not the simple dentistry or cosmetic care. We're talking about heart transplants, lung transplant, heart-lung transplant, and complex robotic surgery, epilepsy surgery, deep brain stimulation. Those are very complex, cutting-edge treatment that are being done here at home in Abu Dhabi.
وطبعا نحن بنعرف بأنه في الفترات السابقة كانت تقريبا الناس في هذه المنطقة تسافر إلى الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، إلى فرنسا، إلى أوروبا. اليوم صار عندك خدمات بمستوى الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية وبمستوى الغرب موجودة في أبوظبي، ورقم فعلا يعني ملفت أن يكون في حوالي 10,000 مريض جاءوا إلى أبوظبي، وهذا طبعا داعم لاقتصاد المدينة. تحدثت عن تقنيات غير مسبوقة تقومون بها. أنا لفت نظري آخر إعلان قمتم به عن عملية تم تنفيذها بالكامل عن طريق روبوت، والذي قام بزراعة كلى. مش بس هو زرعه، وهو أيضا استأصلها. أعطيني تفاصيل.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were able not only to remove the kidney from the donor robotically, but also to implant in the recipient the kidney using the robot through small incision. So instead of making a large incision to put the kidney in and reattach the vessels, reattach the ureter to the bladder, we're able to perform all this through very small incision. What does that mean? Mean less pain to the patient. We have better visualization. We can manipulate the tissue and be more precise in how we're attaching the vessels in the ureter. And this will allow the patient to recover much quicker, go back home, go back to their family, to work, and have a much better life.
كيف المريض اليوم؟
Patients are doing great. Patients are doing great. But not only this, this also allows us to push the boundaries even further. We just, in fact, performed 2 robotic lung transplants. So we've done kidney transplant, and now we're doing lungs, which is also a very advanced procedure. And this is giving hope to those patients who otherwise wouldn't have a hope for a second life.
وهذا اللي أنا كان سؤالي الثاني، إنه موضوع استخدام الروبوتات وين ممكن استخدامه بالرعاية الصحية وبشكل آمن؟ لو بتقدر تفسر لنا شوي، لأن هناك ما يزال ربما في ناس جدا متشجعة لموضوع الروبوتات وبتعتبر بأنه الدقة تبعها شديدة بعكس اليد البشرية، وهناك من يشكك. اشرح لنا أكثر.
Absolutely. So the robot will only reproduce the movement that the surgeon is doing outside of the patient. Those movements will be reproduced on the inside. So instead of the surgeon putting their hands, for example, inside and move their hands, now they can do those movements outside. The robot will reproduce them through small incision inside. So the robot won't be working on its own. It will just translate the movement into the inside of the patient. Will also allow us to have a better visualization. So the vision is magnified almost 10 times. So by having better visualization, better precision of the movement inside of the abdomen, we'll be just able to manipulate what is needed and spare any trauma to the surrounding tissue. And that's what allowed those patients to have less pain, less risk of infection, less risk of blood loss, and allow them to recover in a much quicker fashion.
دكتور، قبل ما ندخل للمقابلة كنت أتحدث أنا وإياك عن ضعف التمويل الفاينانسينج للمستشفيات ومراكز الرعاية الصحية، وحتى نوعا ما قلة الإقبال من الناس على دراسة. يعني نحن عندنا أرقام ستكون هائلة من النقص في الأطباء بحلول 2030. أنت ذكرت لي نقطة كتير مهمة، أنه لهذا نحن نقوم بتطوير عمل الروبوتات، لهذا نحن ندخل الذكاء الاصطناعي. حدثنا أكثر، كيف لهذا الموضوع أن يساعد، وخصوصا الذكاء الاصطناعي، ماذا تعني بذلك؟
Absolutely, this is a great question, and you know, healthcare is under a lot of pressure anywhere in the world. Populations are aging. There is a higher demand for healthcare, and at the same time, we have a shortage in workforce. We are expecting a tsunami of patients coming to the doors of the hospitals without having physicians, without having caregivers to take care of those patients. If we don't leverage technology, we're in big trouble. However, the good thing is there is AI coming, there is genomics, there is a lot of newer technologies such as robotics that may be able to help us overcome this challenge. AI will allow us to treat much bigger number of patients, will allow us to better prevent disease, will allow us to better diagnose them. What AI is doing right now is turning medicine from an art and a science into an engineering problem. Once we have an engineering problem, we can find a solution and we can scale it. And that's why I'm very optimistic. I'm also optimistic and lucky because Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi is the only hospital that is part of an AI company like G42. We're in a country that is AI focused. One of the top probably 3 countries in the world where AI is a national priority. And this is going to transform healthcare, is going to help us prevent disease, diagnose disease, and better precision into the treatment of those patients.
أنا بدي ركز على الشق الاقتصادي، ولكن قبل ذلك هناك أيضا إنجاز لكم، وهو الهيفي آيون كانسر تريتمنت الذي يعتبر خرق في علاج السرطان الذي يعتمد على المعالجة بالآيون. احكي لنا عن هذا الموضوع وكيف يتم تطبيقه اليوم، يعني كيف تم to be explored and implemented بالمستشفى.
Absolutely. We're lucky to be able to put such an advanced technology right here in our backyard in Abu Dhabi. It will be the only facility that will be able to provide heavy ion radiation therapy in 5 to 6 hours flight from Abu Dhabi. Patients who don't have any other chance of a cure from cancer, either because they're radio resistant or there is risk for damage to the surrounding tissue, or they're not candidate for surgery, those patients are now will have a chance to have their cancer treated, cured by using heavy ion therapy that is much more precise, that will better kill the cancer and spare the surrounding tissue. When we were able to start this project, I said, this day is a good day for patients, it's a bad day for cancer.
made my day حقيقة. يعني أنا كتير معجبة بهذا الكلام، وخصوصا أنه السرطان أعتقد يعني أكثر شيء مكروه في العالم. دكتور، كتير مهم لدولة مثل الإمارات التي تقع في منطقة الشرق الأوسط ومنطقة دول الخليج، أن يكون لديك مركز مهم. يعني أنتم لستم مركز طبي يقدم خدمات طبية فقط، بل يقدم تكنولوجيا طبية مختلفة، أبحاث مختلفة، تدريب مختلف. قد ايه بتشوف أنه مستشفى كليفلاند اليوم هو رافد لقطاع الرعاية الصحية في المنطقة في البلد وداعم أيضا للاقتصاد؟
Absolutely. I mean, I like to say that usually Abu Dhabi used to be known for gas and oil. Then it became known for the financial sector. And we used to say Abu Dhabi is the capital of capital. صح. And I usually tell people, it's not the capital, only the capital of capital, we're the capital of healthcare. Abu Dhabi now is turning to be the epicenter of healthcare innovation. The infrastructure that is being built here, from data centers with AI, from the Emirati genome and the sequencing of different disease, to also having an environment with the Department of Health, with a forward-thinking regulator, this allows us to build an infrastructure that will attract pharmaceutical companies who are interested in drug discovery, startups from all over the world to come here to Abu Dhabi to establish shop, doing drug discovery, drug manufacturing, and making Abu Dhabi the real hub for innovation, where anyone who will be looking at healthcare innovation will be looking at Abu Dhabi. And that's why Abu Dhabi, if it's not now, it will become, in a very short period of time, the capital for healthcare.
الدكتور جورج بسكال هيبر، الرئيس التنفيذي لمستشفى كليفلاند كلينك في أبوظبي عاصمة الرعاية الصحية، شكرا جزيلا لك لوجودك معنا ولكل هذه المعلومات، والله يقويكم، يعطيكم ألف عافية.
Thank you for having me.